Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes at the Philadelphia Eagles, and I've got some very important information to share with you, straight and unfiltered. We all know the Eagles are determined to make another run at the Super Bowl, and for that to happen, Saquon Barkley is going to be a crucial piece of this high-caliber roster, ready for battle. I'm about to reveal everything I've learned, but before I go any further, make sure you smash that like button, but only if you're truly a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. If you've been supporting this team for over 15 years, even better, drop a comment saying, "Go Eagles!" My heart bleeds green and white. Now, straight to the point. The Philadelphia Eagles are once again the center of controversy within the NFL, and it looks like the league might be trying to screw the birds over, potentially for the second time in as many years. Let's start with the ongoing saga surrounding the now infamous Tush Push, or, as we proudly call it here, the brotherly shove. This play has been a core part of the Eagles' offensive identity, allowing them to assert dominance on short yardage situations, despite what other teams and certain league executives might want you to believe. Earlier this year, the NFL attempted to push through a ban on the Tush Push. In a maneuver that can only be described as political, the league allegedly had the Green Bay Packers propose the ban, using them as the sacrificial lamb. The rule change required 24 of the 32 NFL owners to vote in favor of eliminating the play, but in a deadlocked 16-16 vote during the initial owners' meeting back in April, the proposal failed. That didn't stop NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. He allegedly tried to sway owners in private to vote against the brotherly shove, but ultimately, the push for the ban was unsuccessful. What's even more frustrating here is the rationale used by the play's critics. Across the league, various owners and executives raised concerns about player safety, yet there's no actual data indicating that the Tush Push is a dangerous play. The reality is that the Eagles are simply better at executing it than any other team. Their offensive line is built to dominate in these situations, and Jalen Hurts' strength and precision make it nearly unstoppable. Other teams have tried to copy the play, but they've had little to no success. Nick Sirianni and the Eagles have taken this play to an entirely new level. It's not just a quarterback sneak anymore, it's a complex, multifaceted weapon. Philadelphia has layered in trick plays and counters, creating a variety of options out of the same formation, including laterals, runs, and passes. Critics like Chicago Bears coach Ben Johnson might scoff and claim they're all about explosive plays, but the Eagles have made it clear, first downs and touchdowns matter most. The brotherly shove is all about gaining those crucial yards when it counts. Looking at the numbers, the Eagles' success rate with the Tush Push speaks for itself. 92.3% in 2022, 92.5% in 2023, with a slight dip in 2024 by 10 percentage points. Even with that decrease, the play remains highly effective. Let's be honest here, if the Eagles hadn't won the Super Bowl, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. It's the classic case of the NFL being uncomfortable with innovation and success when it comes from Philadelphia. But it doesn't stop there. Now the NFL is turning its focus to the Eagles' front office strategy, particularly how general manager Howie Roseman and owner Jeffrey Lurie manage the salary cap. Over the weekend, news surfaced that NFL owners had a lengthy discussion at the league meetings about the salary cap system, how it's working, whether teams are operating within the intended spirit, and what changes might be needed in the next round of the collective bargaining agreement. This is no coincidence. Philadelphia has become known for their innovative cap management, especially their strategy of backloading contracts into the late 2020s, particularly around 2029. Why? Because that's when the NFL is expected to strike a massive new TV deal that will skyrocket the salary cap. By pushing the big money payments to those years, the Eagles can afford to spend aggressively now, confident that the future cap increase will absorb those costs. Howie Roseman's approach has been masterful. Extend players early on their rookie deals, convert salaries into signing bonuses, and spread the cap hits over multiple years. This has allowed the Eagles to assemble and maintain a competitive, championship-caliber roster, all while staying within the NFL's rules. And yet, now there are whispers that other owners are uncomfortable with this strategy, viewing it as exploiting loopholes. Roger Goodell, in his typical diplomatic fashion, claimed that there are no formal plans for changing the salary cap rules yet, but admitted that the league is focusing on the cap's integrity. Make no mistake, this conversation is happening because of the Philadelphia Eagles and how they've leveraged the cap system better than anyone else. The Eagles' aggressive spending is backed by their large, nationwide fan base, their primetime media presence, and enormous merchandise and ticket sales. This is a team that knows how to maximize its market position. Meanwhile, you've got smaller market teams and owners who don't have the same cash flow or simply aren't as aggressive. They're the ones pushing for these potential changes, and it's hard to ignore the jealousy that's brewing across the league. The Eagles are reaping the rewards of smart business and elite football execution, while others are left scrambling, wondering how to keep up. It's also worth noting how these discussions could impact the NFC East landscape. Without a salary cap, a team like the Dallas Cowboys, with Jerry Jones' immense wealth and the advantage of Texas' no state income tax, could outspend almost every other team in the league. But the current system, which the Eagles have mastered, ensures competitive balance. Yet now, there's talk of new regulations, all because Philadelphia found a way to win both on the field and in the front office. The Eagles' approach has been legal, strategic, and brilliant, but instead of being celebrated, it's being scrutinized. So I want to ask you, the real Eagles fans out there, do you think the NFL is unfairly targeting the Eagles because of their success? Is this just jealousy from other teams and owners who can't match what Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have built? Let me know what you think in the comments below. As we peel back more layers, it becomes crystal clear that this isn't just about the tush push or even the salary cap gymnastics. This is about the Philadelphia Eagles being one of the most innovative, aggressive, and successful franchises in the NFL, and the backlash that comes with that. Look at what Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman have accomplished: multiple NFC Championship game appearances since the early 2000s, 2 Super Bowl victories since 2017, and an organization that consistently finds itself among the league's elite. That kind of sustained excellence doesn't happen by accident, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed by the rest of the NFL. The Eagles have effectively weaponized the league's financial systems, turning perceived limitations into strategic advantages. Backloading contracts, manipulating bonuses, and betting on future TV deals is not only legal but also incredibly smart. Yet, instead of being recognized as innovators, the Eagles are being painted as manipulators. It's that classic "no one likes us, we don't care" attitude that has fueled this team and this fan base for years. Let's talk about the fan base for a second. Philadelphia is one of the most passionate, loyal, and, let's be honest, intimidating fan bases in all of sports. This city lives and breathes Eagles football, the fourth largest media market in the country, a city that has seen its share of struggles, but also knows what it means to fight and claw its way to success. That kind of intensity doesn't sit well with everyone, especially not with league officials and rival fan bases who would rather see a more conventional team at the top. And then there's the perception of Howie Roseman himself. It's rare that a general manager becomes a celebrity in this league, but Roseman has done just that. His ability to draft well, fleece other teams in trades, and keep the Eagles competitive year after year has turned him into a legend. Yet with that success comes a target on his back. Other GMs and owners look at what Roseman has done and, rather than acknowledging the brilliance, they cry foul. They look for ways to change the rules, to level the playing field, not by improving their own strategies, but by trying to limit what the Eagles can do. The Eagles aren't just fighting on the field, they're fighting in the boardrooms, in the media, and within the halls of the NFL's headquarters. The pushback on the tush push wasn't about player safety, it was about stopping the Eagles from continuing to exploit a play they've mastered. The discussions about the salary cap aren't about fairness, they're about teams trying to reign in a franchise that has outsmarted them at every turn. Let's not forget the business implications here. The new TV deal that's expected to hit in 2029 is projected